Hey there and welcome back to Elden Ring. Now, if you're new to what we're doing here, this is a lore playthrough, which basically means I'm taking my time to play the game. I'm taking my time, looking at the scenery, smelling the roses, all that kind of stuff, while we just get through the game again before the DLC comes out. Now, I'm also going to be reading a lot of descriptions, just, taking our time, and a lot of the goal is to experience the story and stuff, kind of like we're doing it for the first time, because I've played this game for a lot, right? I could easily go and look at this dude and be like, oh yeah, do you see that? That's Box the Seamster. Here's his story. This is how it all goes. This is how it ends, right? But instead, I want to, start going through the game and, look at things, take them at, face value, like we're just seeing it for the first time, and see what kind of conclusions and story we get. And then, as we get more and more information, revise these conclusions, revise our opinions, and, really see how the story unfolds for us. Because, I've spent so much time in it that, it's easy for me to forget, how mysterious and, how things would be, portrayed initially, how they really come off. So it's been a lot of fun. There's been a few different things I haven't really thought of in a while. So it's overall been pretty fun. But we're moving on to Liurnia of the Lakes. Now, obviously, we can't see it here. It's massive. If we go out here to the cliff face, you can see there's way huge stretching. Ugh, my controller drift is also awful. This huge stretching section all through the center there. We can see this is the lakes part of it, right? All kinds of ruins strewn across there, trees, hillsides, broken bridges, a big old castle in the middle, some kind of more buildings there in the middle, underneath it. There's a huge old path here to the left. We can see a jail section, some chapel thing. And then looking over to the right, kind of same thing, huge old road and path that goes to a tower with bridge and divine tower, Erd tree, more buildings. There's a lot to do here. So we're probably going to break it up into a few sections based on the region. So we're probably going to do east side, west side, central, and north, with the academy kind of somewhere in the middle of there. But anyways, getting to it, showing up here, we're going to do a little bit of talking first, because we see that there is Bach, which we've met before, some woman we don't know, and just a bunch of stuff over here.
Good to see you, Master. Do you remember me? Bach, the demi-human. You helped me before and retrieved my sewing needle.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Master, allow me to serve you as your seamster. I can't make nothing from scratch, but I'm happy to make adjustments to your garments.
So yeah, he can basically just take off capes and stuff. So the Godric Knight armor has a cape. You can change it so it doesn't have a cape. Same thing with the Vagabond armor and Commoner's garb. He can do that with some of them. One thing though, I wonder, and I hope if I don't kick my desk anymore, but I kind of wonder if the DLC, they'll add more options to, alter garments, because it'd be kind of cool to do, colorations and stuff. I don't really see From Software doing that, but, man, it would make it a lot easier to do some fashion stuff if you could, do some other alteration things. It'd be kind of cool. Don't tell me.
Master, I was wondering, do you ever make adjustments to your garb yourself?
Only one time.
I would, rather you let me do the job when possible, please. I don't ask anything in return, and, I am your personal seamster after all.
Yeah, because it costs you 100 souls or something to kind of alter things. Now, we've got this woman here. Not seen her before, except she does look familiar. Blindfold, that, kind of bloody dress and stuff, rope kind of tied to the middle, and the hairstyle and everything. This looks a lot like Irina, which was the blind maiden we saw way down here outside of Castle Morn and the Bridge of Sacrifice, except she died. She was killed by Misbegotten, which I kind of wondered about. I never really thought about it before, but when we went there, yeah, there's a Misbegotten weapon. That's obviously who had been rebelling and killing everybody, but you don't see a Misbegotten there. They left the weapon. Why would they just leave the weapon there? It's something is a little fishy about it to me. But this person looks a lot like her, except she has a kind of travel cloak thing over the top. Now, it's been a long time since I went and checked, but I'm going to go check real quick and see if Irina's body is even still there. Okay, it is. All right, so maybe it's not her, and she just looks very, very similar. So maybe she's wearing a blindfold because she's like Corin, who can't, who maybe saw something he shouldn't have. Because that's like one of the things with the beginning classes, like a prophet or something.
Hello? Is someone there? My name is Hyetta.
Hyetta.
And I'm journeying in search of the distant light.
There we go, some of
If
that.
I might be so bold as to ask, would you donate any sugary grapes in your possession to me? My eyesight has been weak since birth, you see. I can't tell which way I'm supposed to go next. But when I eat one of those grapes, I can feel a distant light in the back of my eyes. It will lead me to my true duty as a finger maiden.
Okay. Well, let's not give it to her quite yet. So, she has weak eyesight since birth, which is the same as Idrina, actually. But she is looking for Shibriri grapes, and we know a little bit about those things. And they're kind of gross. It's a yellow oozing eyeball of the sick. Shriveled, squishy, not unlike an overripe grape. Give to the blind maiden to guide her to the distant light. So that's who we just talked to here. She's a blind maiden. She's talking about seeing a distant light. But the thing about it, too, is we know it has to do with these things, these yellow embery frenzy things. Because it's taken from the eye socket of a corpse. It says, deceased suffered from the flame of frenzy. Grape has ripened and burst. So it seems to have something to do with that, the flame of frenzy, maybe. And then we also have a spell talking about the flame of frenzy right here, coming from the maddening three fingers. And it's got flames that burst from the caster's eyes. See, they all tie in with the eyes. It deals damage, causes buildup of madness, but it only works untarnished. And I should, connect here too, right? How this frenzy stuff all has a bunch to do with eyes. We've recently just gotten a bunch of these items that are the scar seals. So they're also eyes, right? So I find that interesting. There seems to be a bunch of things to do with eyes, fingers. There are a number of recurring themes and symbols. So, yeah, but she wants to be a finger maiden, which is cool because we've not actually met a finger maiden. Not a one. Melina is the closest we've gotten, and she's trying to act as a role.
Hello? Would you donate time on a pilgrim when I eat?
Let's give her a grape.
Oh, many thanks to you. Now I can feel the distant light once more. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you.
Thanks. As you wish. Anything else?
You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of...
Not really. Okay. Well, that's cool. It's kind of gross that she eats eyeballs. Does she know she's eating eyeballs? She's really calm and nonchalant about it. But here's a church. We've seen a bunch of these church shapes before. There's our standard, Statue of America, Church of Irith, and there's a dude.
You're tarnished, aren't you? Then
He's got robes like Selen.
spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria. For a small donation.
Okay, let's donate some runes. 10 runes. It's no big deal.
Bless you. You're a true saint. My name is Thops.
Thops.
Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries as promised, only none of them are particularly great.
Alright, so let's see what he's got. Glintstone Pebble, which we have. Glintstone Arc, we also have, but Starlight. So this one is a glintstone sorcery of the Academy of Rea Lucaria. Creates a small floating star light that illuminates surroundings. It can be cast while in motion. Is granted to sorcerers who depart from the academy to embark on journeys. Even during the blackest nights, sojourns underground, or imprisonments in jail, the stars are never far from a sorcerer's side, which makes a lot of sense because glintstones and stuff are supposed to be like the residual life or the residual life of stars is what Selena told us before. I don't have quite enough runes to get it, but let's see what he has to say.
Apologies, friend. I'm afraid my meager sorceries are no match for your generosity. Oh, right. I can tell you what I know about this place. That should help a bit.
Yeah, take it.
You've seen that structure to the north, towering over the water. That's the Academy of Rea Lucaria, where we study glintstone sorceries. Only its doors have been closed for quite some time now. After they declared they wouldn't interfere with the shattering, the Academy cast repelling seals on the east gate leading to the capital, and the south gate leading here. As you might have guessed, the seals are still active, making entry to the Academy impossible without a glintstone key. And so I'm stuck here. a fledgling sorcerer with little chance of acquiring a key. When they cast the seals, I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning.
Huh. So when the shattering happened, like, because these, the academy and stuff seemed like it would have been a big player, because you have the Academy of Liurnia, which seems big on sorceries, and who heads it is a champion who's Renala, who was married to Radigan, who then went on to be a king consort. So, like, she seems like kind of a big deal, and Gideon even says that she has one of, like, the great runes gifted to her by Radigan. And then you got this whole Carrion royal family, which is on this area too. So it feels like they should have been big players in the whole shattering and stuff. But they said, nah, they were not interested. They completely sealed themselves off. And so have just not been involved in the whole process. About the glintstone key.
Why not find yourself a glintstone key? Without one, you can't pass through the academy. And you'll never reach the Erdtree capital. And if you find an extra glintstone key, perhaps, once you've tied up all your loose ends, and I can be very patient, would you consider donating it to me? I know it. I'm a bluntstone. Nary a hint of talent for sorcery. But still, my place is at the academy.
Alright, I mean, seems fair enough, right? Now about Selene.
You've taken an apprenticeship with Selene. Well, that is something. Selene was well known. The most promising sorceress in the history of the academy. I followed her at school. But there may as well have been an ocean between us. But Selene was expelled from the academy, accused of unthinkable treatment of certain sorcerers, under the name of the Graven Witch. I still don't believe the accusations. The illustrious Selene would never do such things.
Expelled from the academy. Amazing prodigy. But supposedly she did things to certain sorcerers as a Graven Witch. I mean, she says she's an apostate, right? So, Alright.
Find yourself without one, you'll never...
Yeah, so we need a key, reaching their tree capital. Alright. Alright, we've got all the sorceries, and now he can say something more.
Thank you, kind soul, for learning my paltry sorceries. I never imagined that a bluntstone like myself would have the chance to play teacher.
Cool. Alright, so now we're, set to start moving on. One of the first things we kind of want to do, there's a path leading us down right there. We can see there's a map right there. We need to go get that map. There it is. That's the one we want. Academy Scroll. Academy Scroll. Scroll of the Academy of Liurnia, Glintstone Sorcerers. Yeah, it gives us Great Glintstone and Swift Glintstone shards. Now we're taking this path down, and that comes immediately down from where we were at. It's the most immediate, obvious path for us to take. And there is an encampment kind of blocking us off here. Now, if you look, these soldiers are not the same as our Godric soldiers. One, they're throwing those things, and their whole garb is different too. It's a red and blue. If he falls a different way, we'll be able to get some looks at it. There's some more of our standard, just kind of like infantrymen. Yeah. Now, they still got the same look, right? Armor looks a little rusted insides. The face is zombie-ish. But on the tunic, there seem to be two birds. Now, we know maybe something we can connect right away with that. And that would be with some of the spells. And look, there's a star, which we know stars are important for the sorceries. So we can assume that this is maybe connected to the academy. And we say that because the glintstone sorcerers deal with, sorceries that are all connected to stars. And on top of that, there were some knights called the Cuckoo Knights, or Knights of the Cuckoo, which a bunch of the spells talk about how they were contracted to the academy and were taught different sorceries to help them out. And so, with these guys having birds on them, like, that's more of a connection that says, hey, yeah, they are, Knights of the Cuckoo. Or at least following that whole group. In the Liurnian gauntlets worn by Liurnia Academy soldiers, which confirms exactly what we were thinking. Alright, so we found ourselves another merchant, got the Lantern, Nomadic Warrior's Cookbook, which is nice, Estoc, which doesn't really have anything to say, Astrologer's Staff. Staff of Astrologers. Glintstone is at the top of it, enabling it to be used as a catalyst for sorcery. So you need Glintstone to be a catalyst. Okay. Sorceries must be memorized first at a site of grace. Staff must be equipped. Boring. Okay. Astrologer Hood, fashioned from supple cloth, worn by those who look to the cosmos above. They read fate in the stars and are said to be heirs of the Glintstone sorcerer. But alas, the night sky no longer cradles fate. So you have the Glintstone sorcerers, and then there's these astrologers who are, I guess, the heirs of the Glintstone sorcerers. So the astrologers came after the sorcerers, and the fate is read in the stars, but the sky no longer cradles fate. So does it, like, can you no longer get the fate from the stars? Like, if you read the stars, will no longer be fate to be read? Well, we know we can read fate from our fingers because the finger reader Cronus do it. So maybe it has something to be tied with, like, the age of the Erd tree, maybe. But now we are moving towards our map obelisk thing. Now look at this. For a lake, it's very low water. Hello, who are you? Hi, hold on. Let me turn on a little lamp. All right, so he's got a little crown thing. No chest armor, like a top. He's got 4 arms. We've seen multiple things with 4 arms before. Rena the Witch had 4 arms. Then some of those, like, kind of soldiery things we saw in the Witchbane Ruins had 4 arms. And these guys got some kind of robes. They look savage. Look at the faces, too. They're nasty. Which, I mean, isn't too surprising, again, given the state of most of everything. So, and it dropped Grave Violet, which is interesting. That's something we've been finding in Catacombs normally. But the water is really low. Right? And you can see this is supposed to be a path, supposed to be a road, because it's got, like, blue flames guiding us along. Archways and stuff. So, like, this was a road, but now it's, I don't know, covered up, flooded. There's more of those things. It's interesting that they all have crowns. Gold bangles on their arms, too. So, who were these guys and, like, what is their deal? And why do they have grave violets? There it is. Map Liurnia East. Map of Liurnia's eastern region. The majority of Liurnia, known for its vast forests and ever-present fog, is sinking into a lake. The eastern coast is home to a high road running north to south. So, most of it is sinking, I guess. So, yeah, we look here, and I mean, you can see it. Look at this huge stretch of water. And then this is the road it was talking about that runs all the way up here. That is the eastern road. So maybe that's a big part of what we'll do here. We'll at least check out a couple things over here, because we're already, like, you know, trying to keep this down a little shorter. Or we'll finish getting this stretch of runes. Look, there's a stretch of runes right here. So we'll finish doing that. Oh, these guys are different. Alright, so he's spitting out spirit things. He's, oh lord. He's got more clothes and, like, robe-looking spots to him. Alright. But when he did that, those projectiles, they're ringing bells. Kind of like how we do for spirit summoning. So, he is summoning a spirit of sorts, I guess. More grave violets. And then look at that guy. He's on a horse. He's, like, crouched on it. That horse looks very nasty. Look at it go. Look at that horse is, like, spreading mist and fog while he just runs around and rings a bell. He's really annoying. So this is the Laskyar Ruins. Alright. Glintstone craftsman stuff, which is nice. Oh, there's a portal thing right there, see? Alright. So I'll have to check that out. Look at the way the style is on that, like, I want to call it a gazebo. Reminds me of the, like, place where we took the elevator going down into Sifra River. Oh, look at that. Look how it came up. He came up through this, like, portal. It was, like, kind of dark and yellowy. Very much like the spirity things that he summoned. And there's a ritual pot, which I don't think we've found before. We've just gotten cracked pots. fact that I can summon something is a little concerning, you know, metagaming it a little bit. And we found some blood rose. Now, we know a little bit about blood roses because it has to do with, like, the Lord of Blood and, like, lands that are seeped in blood. So the cracked pot's like a little simple pot. This ritual pot looks a lot like Alexander, the Iron Fist Alexander, the jar pot. So it's an empty pot that somehow mends itself. Special item with greater durability than a cracked pot. It's an essential vessel for crafting ritual pot items. The materials and magic sealed within deploy their effects when the pot is thrown. Okay. Similar thing, but a little more sturdy, I guess. And see, we can make it with something like the beast lure pot. The illusion lures in beasts into attacking it. The effect does not change even during combat. Huh. Oh, here come a bunch of these guys. All right. Let's clear them up. Just gonna summon our bird now. Here we go. And look at that dude. So those guys have had 4 arms. Look how he spews that, like, poison. He's got many arms, a big crown on his head. Oh, God. Oh, his abdomen is all super, like, kind of like torn open looking. His legs are backwards. Huh. This dude is freaky. He reminds me a lot of the grafted Scion. Ooh, good stagger. Yeah, he looks super freaky. Almost necromorphy to me, but he reminds me a lot of the grafted Scions because he's got a crap ton of limbs, but he had like a crown thing on. Nasty looking robes. Yeah. But he spewed poison as well. Now we are going to take that teleporter. I'm just doing a little sweep here real quick. There we go. Anytime I find some ruins, there's pretty much always, I say pretty much always, I'm positive like every single one will have some kind of underground section. Strong foe. Okay, nobody's here. All right. And what do we find? A wraith calling bell. It kind of looks like a one of the like little grave bells flowers. So it's a bell used by worshippers of revenants. So those little guys, I say little guys, regular size people with 4 arms, ringing these things worship revenants. They ring the bell, use FP to summon prowling wraiths. It can be done multiple times in a row. Wraiths are said to be the vengeful spirits of those who died when cursed. Huh. So it's kind of like a spirit summon bell, except ours summon ashes, like ashes of people and great renown or something, or not even people, things, all right? Beasts and whatnot. This one is vengeful spirits of those who died while cursed. So when they die, if they're cursed, maybe like they can't come back. But I mean, they're ghosts. Like, I guess the spirits are still lingering, right? Huh. Oh, there's something right there. Finger reader crone. Neat. Let's see where this takes us. Oh, okay. Ooh, took us right to the foot of the academy. Oh, and there's some soldiers there. Oh, right along this path. And look, there's another map right there. Okay. So let's hit this real quick. Look at that symbol and stuff. It's really neat looking. So, taking a look at it. Now, I don't cast spells. But when you cast spells, the emblem for the school of magic that you're using shows up. And this is one of the emblems, and I believe it is for, you know, the Rhea Lucaria or glintstones and stuff. And I mean, you can see there are 2 cuckoo birds, which lines up with what they maybe follow because they had the Knights of the Cuckoo. There is what, to me, that looks like a rising or setting sun. But on the armor and stuff, like, oh, maybe that is what it is, because look right above it. There's a star. But then there's this whole like lattice work behind it. And we have seen that before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided hexagon, huh? We have seen that before. Where have we seen it? In the Radigan Scar Seal. Look at that. It's a lattice work. So, I mean, you know, actually that does make sense, right? Because Radigan was married to Renala. Renala has stuff to do with here. So, that could be the connection there. And we got a map. What does a map do for us? Meeting place. Simple map found on a corpse seems to point to a meeting place. The man it came from surely desired one. The sole means of gaining entry into the academy, a glintstone key. Okay, yeah, so we've got the academy on the right, sunken buildings to the south, and a marked place on the left side of it. So we don't really have much for map, so we don't know. And if we do try and go and interact with this, I don't think it'll even let us. Cannot proceed without a glintstone key. Yeah. So we're going to have to get ourselves one of those. So maybe, you know, we've got ourselves about half an hour of gameplay here. This will be a nice little intro into it, I guess. And then on the next one, what we'll do, I think we might just go ahead and try and find the glintstone key. Let's just push right for it right away. We'll get this map. We can see more of like what's going on here, find the key, and like really go into the castle from there. Thank you guys for checking it out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And, you know, until the next one, take care.